Why is this why is this happening? Oh my god. There is a lot that goes into the art of letting go. And that could be letting go of a situation, letting go of maybe a person that you find yourself attached to, or a circumstance, whatever it may be. One of the hardest things that we can learn how to do is to detach and move on and strive for something greater. Our brains are a pretty funny thing because our brains like what is safe. They like what is comfortable. They like what they know. They don't like us putting ourselves out of our comfort zone. And sometimes that's why it's hard for us to leave circumstances where we find ourselves very comfortable in, even though we know that we want better, and we tend to settle. And that could be in relationships, it could be in anything. But I'm starting to realize, like, the whole point of life is literally therapy exposure. You want to learn how to master life? It's therapy exposure. Do the things that terrify you. Put yourself in situations that make you uncomfortable, not dangerous situations, but things that challenge you, stimulate you mentally. You can teach a child that 2 + 2 = 4, but if you only teach them that every day, they're never going to learn anything else but 2 + 2 = 4. Do you know what I mean? So we must push ourselves past our limits, and that was the whole point of my YouTube channel when I initially started it. About, I think it's been 8 months or so, because I started in March. But I went on a 5-month hiatus because I think I was in a bad place mentally. And if you are a subscriber, you could tell, like, it bled into my videos. Oh my gosh, was I loud about it? But that is neither here nor there. Everyone has an attachment style, everyone, but not everybody knows how to control it. And a lot of the times it's this very attachment style that kind of possesses us and dictates how we live, right? And not everybody knows how to detach at the right time or to the right things. And no one teaches us how to do this. It's something you kind of have to learn for yourself. You're kind of, it's like growing up or adulthood. Nobody really tells you how to do it. There's no guide or manual. You just have to figure it out all alone. And I think most people don't know how to study themselves, or they don't understand themselves or how to be introspective. Because if I'm being honest, sometimes I think the gift of introspection is something that is not taught. It's just innate. Like, either you have it or you don't. You're born with it or you're not. And honestly, some people have too big of egos to be introspective. I think the majority of people are like this. So if you're someone who's very self-aware and you're able to really and honestly look at yourself and things for what they are, then congratulations, because you're actually a lot far ahead in life than you think you are. I don't care what your circumstance is. The greatest, most powerful tool you'll ever have is the gift of self-awareness. Because if you are self-aware, you don't need for anything else. You don't need anybody else to tell you to look inward. You don't need anybody else to tell you that you're this or that. You already know. And maybe you don't know everything, but I'm willing to bet that you already know more than most. It pays off more to stay quiet sometimes than it pays off to be loud. Unless, of course, you have something that is worth being loud for. By all means, be loud and proud. But like I said, make sure it's something that's worth being loud for. Make sure it's worth you being seen over. I cannot begin to tell you how many people crave that. They crave the spotlight, they crave the attention, but they have nothing to truly offer. And who are we to demand attention and the notice of others if we have nothing great to give? With everything in life, there's balance, there's give and take. We cannot take, and not give. What I've realized, in the whole point of this video, is that all my life, I have just wanted to take. Maybe not from others in a very selfish way or anything like that, or in a way that makes me a not so generous person, but in a way that all I could ever think and focus on was what I wanted, but not what I could give back. Does that make sense? Even my dreams and my ambitions and my goals, all I could think about was, I want to someday have this. I want to someday be like this. But never once did I stop and think to myself, okay, I want all these things, but what makes me deserving of all these things? What makes me any different from the next person that also wants the very same things? I had to pull back and really come to terms with my true worth and the value that I bring to the world. And I think that stepping away kind of, not only did it prove that I did have value, because I had forgotten for so long, and I don't mean to get emotional, but I think me stepping away after first starting was imperative, because I needed to be reminded of that I do have value, and maybe it's not in the way that I think is gonna bring me gratification, but it's there in other ways. So why is this happening? Oh my god. I didn't plan to cry tonight, but for some reason I cry in like 50% of all my YouTube videos. I cry. I don't know why, but maybe, I don't know, discussing the death of life tends to do that to you, perhaps. But if you're someone who is obsessed with being noticed, but you know you're not ready to be seen, you don't know why you deserve to be seen, then I encourage you to step away and do some inner work and figure it out. Get that reassurance that, yeah, I know what I'm meant to be here for. I know what this is all about. Really figure that out, instead of just wanting and taking, because there's more to this than just, I want these things. For so long, I think I've allowed my dreams and my ambitions to define my sense of self-worth, and I said, if I don't achieve these things, then I'm worthless. Like, what is the point of this? Like, really, what is the point of being here if I don't eventually do this or accomplish this? But I have inherent value that is not tied to the things I have wanted all my life. And you do too. You just don't know it yet, but you do. So maybe you haven't liked yourself a lot, or maybe you don't like where you are now, but where you are now, it's just as important as the end goal. When you get there, you're gonna need to know that you're there for a reason, and it's where you belong, because you've been here. So thank you for watching. I'm sorry, I don't know what that was, but I hope this speaks to you. And if my message finds you, I hope that it's because you're meant to hear it, really. Have a good night. Bye-bye.